January 6th is when the church celebrates Epiphany, the coming of the wise men. And so today I want to just reflect on the story a little bit and talk about some of the ways that Epiphany is celebrated. So we're in Matthew chapter 2. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, pause. Okay, a couple of things to note. First, now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem. So there's no way that the wise men come when Jesus is born. The text is very clear. They come to Jerusalem after he's born. They have to wait there a little bit and then come. Okay? Herod is the king. Herod is a cruel king. He's known for having killed a wife and several of his own children and a lot of other people who he thought were a threat to his throne. They come from the east, but that's probably more like the northeast of there. There's nothing really directly east of Israel, maybe to the southeast. But tradition says kind of the northeast, modern day Iraq. These wise men are not numbered. I have a couple of my favorite nativity sets with me. The wise men from the little people and my wise men from my VeggieTales set. And you'll notice there are three. We sing We Three Kings, but the Bible doesn't say three. So it could have been 30, could have been 2, could have been 8. We don't know. They're also not kings. They're called wise men or magi. The word magi is the same word that we get the word magic from. So they are stargazers. They are more like astrologers, not astronomers. Okay, but reading the signs, reading the times, reading the zodiac signs, all of that kind of thing. And they would have looked at prophecy. And so they come to Jerusalem saying, where is he who is born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. If you remember your old King James Version, it said we had seen his star in the east, which is always confusing because if they're from the east and then they see a star in the east, then they should go east. Why would they come back west? But the phrase in the east, it's just a phrase that means from its rising. And so that's why this translation, the ESV, picks up on the meaning behind the phrase. We saw the star when it rose. When Herod heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. That's always true with Herod. When Herod gets troubled, everybody gets troubled because nobody wants to get killed by Herod. And assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They told him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for so it was written by the prophet. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word that I too may come and worship him. Yeah, right. He's not going to worship him. After listening to the king, they went on their way, and behold, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them until it came to rest over the place where the child was. Now pause here. There's been a lot of Facebook messages and all kinds of stuff on the internet about what was this star, an alignment of planets, an asteroid, but it comes to stop over a particular spot, over a particular house. So the church has always wondered if this was perhaps actually an angel. And in many of your nativity sets, there's an angel over the nativity set representing that star. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary and Mary his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. Now this is a big moment in Christianity because this is the first Christian worship service. Okay, and it's not by Jews. It's by these magi, these foreigners who look at the stars and they come to worship and they bring odd gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now there's a line in Isaiah 60 verse 6 that talks about bringing gold and frankincense. So maybe that's part of the prophecy. There's even a prophecy in Numbers 24 that a star shall come out of Jacob and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. So maybe the star is even part of this prophecy from Numbers. We can't be sure. What we do know is these are very interesting gifts. Gold would have been the gift of a king, wealth, honor. Frankincense is an incense, it's in the name, and it's an incense that was used a lot in the temple, a lot in terms of ritual purity. So it would have been associated with the priests. And then myrrh is the strange one. Myrrh is it's another sort of incense that would have masked smells. And so it's used sometimes in rituals, particularly in burials. And in the Gospel of John, it's even used on the body of Jesus after his death. And so the church has often talked about Jesus as king and priest and prophet based on these gifts. So these magi, these foreigners, have this great understanding of who this Messiah is meant to be. And they come to the house, notice not in a stable, they come to the house to worship him and to offer their gifts. And so Epiphany is this wonderful celebration because we are not Jewish or Gentiles, and so this is the first time that any of us worship Jesus. But also because the wise men come to a house and bring gifts and blessings, there is a tradition among the Catholic Church and other traditions of what's called the blessing of the house or the chalking of the door. And so what they do is the priest, a lot of times in church, will bless the chalk and pray a blessing over houses and then send people home with a piece of chalk that they can pray a prayer and mark their doors with a blessing. And the blessing looks like this. Okay, 2021, so the year is on the outside. You can see that these are crosses that separate these all. And then there's a CMB. Why CMB? Well, it has two meanings. CMB are stand for the traditional names of the three wise men, Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. Okay, Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar are the three traditional names of the three wise men, but it's also in Latin, Christus Mansionem Benedictat. Okay, and so Christus, Christ, Mansionem, mansion, house, okay, Benedictat, bless. So may Christ bless this house in 2021. And so the tradition is to take chalk and write this over the entrance, the main entrance into your house, over the mantle, just hearkening back to the blood over the mantle at Passover. And so above your door, you write this, just like this, and pray a blessing over your house. Pray that God would bless your house, that God would show up and Christ would be in your house. Pray for your kids, your pets, your property. Pray blessing for anyone who enters your house as a visitor in this new year. It's a great way to celebrate and remember Epiphany. So may you have a great year. May God bless your home and your family. May God bless our church and our church family. May God bless our community and our world in 2021.